Hey family, it's your girl Evelyn, and I'm back again with the next video in the side hustle series. So the last time we talked, I gave you about 20 questions that you needed to be able to answer about your side hustle that basically would form into your business plan. It wasn't a traditional business plan where you are seeking money from banks or investors, but it was a plan for you to understand and ask yourself important questions about your business, to understand how your business is going to function, to understand how you're going to market your business, to where you're going to find your customers and how you're going to engage with them, and all the things that a business needs to know. And one of the things that I didn't say in that video that I'll say here is that plan is fluid, right? So even though you do it once, it's not something that once you do it, you never alter it or change it. As your business grows, as you learn more about your customers, as demands change, as tastes change, your plan will evolve and change, as long as you still understand the mission and the goal of your business. The way you deliver your business and the tactics and strategies that you use to accomplish your goals may change, but the mission is the mission will never change, right? So with that being said, I kind of want to talk today about how to survive your day job while you're trying to do your side hustle. And I did this for years. I was working in engineering, working overnight on third shift, trying to go to culinary school, which technically wasn't a side hustle, but I went to culinary school full time for a year and a half while I was still working a job full time, and I was traveling 75 to 80% for that job. So if you guys have been rocking with me for a long time, then you will remember I have really, really old videos where I'm in different parts of the country in a hotel room filming natural hair videos. So we're going back to like 2008, 2009. Okay. So, I've been on YouTube for a long time, here and there, consistent sometimes, not so consistent other times. But as you see, it's a journey, it's a path, it's evolving. So anyway, I want to get into just a couple of tips on how to survive your day job while you are building your side hustle, or you're just not ready to leave yet, right? Maybe your side hustle has not gotten you to a place where it can be your full-time hustle, where you can be ready to leave, or maybe that's just not your desire, that you want a side hustle because you want to have multiple streams of income, but how do you balance the two? So I'm going to give you a couple of tips. And the first thing is, there is no such thing as work-life balance in my personal opinion. Okay, there is no such thing as work-life balance. I think what people really should practice instead of work-life balance is work-life boundaries. Okay, so when you talk about work-life balance, that insinuates that things are in equal proportion and that you're always trying to keep it level. And let's be honest, sometimes your job is going to demand more of you than you would like, right? On the flip side, sometimes your job is kind of coasting along and your personal life or your side hustle is going to demand more. So what I really would suggest to focus on is knowing what season you're in, and then setting the proper boundaries that when you leave work, right? You leave work at work. Unless you're on call or something like that, you need to do whatever you need to do at work to make sure that every minute that you're on that job, you're doing the work related to that job, because they're still paying the bills right now. Okay, your job is your working capital at this point. So if you're not getting a loan, if you're not getting private investors or something like that, then your job is now your working capital. So you need to give every minute that you're supposed to be there to that job. So cut out the side conversation, all the lollygagging, so that you don't have to take work home and check email after hours and do all this other crazy kind of stuff. You want to do work at work, but you also want to put boundaries about that when work is over, because you have given it your all, you've given it 100%, that when work is over, there's a boundary there that says, this is now my time and I'm not going to do work on my time, right? Unless you're on call. Okay, and that's just the nature of business, but you're not on call every day, 365 days of the year, right? At least I don't know any professions like that. So boundaries. Okay. And so and here's the thing, the hardest boundary to put is not on other people, it's to put it on ourselves, right? To say, when I leave, I'm done. And I'm going to now allocate this time to my side hustle or things in my life that are more important. So work-life boundaries. And then the second thing I kind of already mentioned is that you change your mindset that your job is now your working capital. Okay, so, you need to do what you need to do to your finances to make sure that obviously you can pay your bills and your responsibilities, but then you get to decide what to do with the money you have left over, right? And you may say, Evelyn, I may not have a whole lot of money left over. Well, then you may have to take money from something and put it towards something else so that your side hustle can make money. I know one of the things that I did was I cut off cable. Okay. I cut off cable. And here's the thing, I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. I'm just going to say there are places that if you really want this thing to be successful, you could maneuver around and get what you need for your working capital, to invest in yourself, to take classes, to take workshops, to get a mentor, to buy materials, whatever you need to do, and you need funds for that. Okay, you can use your job as working capital since you're not getting a loan. Okay. Also, reallocate your energy. I know a lot of times, and I'm going to speak specifically to myself, when I was working a job, I was so consumed by the job that even though I didn't do work at home, I was always talking about work at home. I was talking it to my homegirls, to my homeboys, to my mom. Like it was all consuming. Well, I can't be productive if all of my energy is tied up into my job. I cannot focus and spend concentrated, valuable energy on my side hustle if all of my mental space is consumed with my job, with my day job. Okay, so that's another place where you need to put boundaries. I'm going to leave work at work, right? That's my work life. This is my real life. That's my work life. This is my real life. Okay. And then also one of the ways that that I figured out how to really reallocate my energy and reserve that energy for my side hustle, because listen, when I was going to culinary school full time and working full time and traveling full time, I didn't have the bandwidth to be upset about things, to be engaged in office gossip. I just did not have the space to do that because I needed that energy, because I got to read this chapter in this book. I got to do these vocabulary words. I got to do this homework. I've got to have energy for this 5-hour class I'm about to be in. I had to reallocate my energy. So one of the ways that I did that was I totally let go of the office politics. I just let it go. I was like, listen, whatever y'all want to do. Right? So trying to prove myself and make sure you didn't steal my ideas, or, if there was somebody that was doing what I call, nasty gram emails or all the things that just go in the office. And I'm not even talking about the bad things, right? But like, not just the bad things, even the good things, like I'm trying to climb, let me be seen, let me make sure you know that I did it. I let go of all of that. I still was a good employee, right? And if you watch my Leaving Corporate America series, I talk about that I still got good results, right? I still wanted to make sure that I could keep a job and that I could leave on my own terms. But I let go of needing to be a superstar, right? I let that go because this was more important to me. Now, if you don't want your side hustle to become your main thing, then you get to decide in what proportion you're going to do that. That's where the boundaries come back in. And so what I find, whether it's, a side hustle, whether it's making more money, whether it's losing weight or eating healthy, wanting to make a change, starting something new, a new relationship, whatever the case may be, a lot of times what people really want is, how can I add this new thing into my life? Or how can I make progress in this area without changing who I am, what I do, the decisions that I make, how I spend my time, and how I spend my money? That's what people really want. How can I add things into my life? A person, a child, a relationship, a side hustle, going back to school, more time in the Word, whatever you're trying to add in. How can I add that in, but without having to change what I do on a daily basis, without having to rearrange some things, without having to let some other things go. I stopped watching TV. If you've been rolling with me for a while, you also will remember when I stopped watching TV. That was back in 2013, I believe. I gave up TV. I don't miss it. And every now and then, I have Netflix. If I want to watch something, I'll watch something on Netflix. Or if I'm at a friend's house and something's on, I want to watch it. But what I realize is, even when the world is buzzing about something, even if I miss it for a nanosecond, I forget about it in a week, right? But if you really think about the hours we spend doing things, whether it's TV watching or YouTube watching or I'm not even going to say it's watch TV, whatever it is that we're doing, that yes, there's nothing wrong with it on its own. But then moving into a space of, but I want to do something else, I'm going to have to let some things go. It's kind of like when people want to save money, but they don't want to stop shopping. Well, which one is more important? The security and the peace of mind of having money in the bank and knowing that you're being a good steward over your finances, or having the latest and greatest fashion and being whatever. Neither one of those is wrong. They only become wrong if they do not aid you in getting to your goal. So surviving your day job is, you have to come up with the mindset of which one is more important. It doesn't mean that they're both important. You still, like I said, you still need to be a great employee. You still need to get good results. You want to keep the peace with people as much as possible, right? Everybody doesn't need to know that you have a side hustle. I was in culinary school the whole time, and like one person knew, and then they didn't know until I put in my resignation. It was like, hey, I've been in culinary school for a year and a half, but now I'm about to leave. So, and nobody believed me, but I was like, you don't have to believe me, but I did it. Okay. But anyway, so I just wanted to come in and give you that quick video just to kind of recap work-life boundaries. Work-life balance is a mythical state of being. It's never going to be equal. It has to have boundaries. When your work, your job, your 9 to 5 is creeping to other areas of your life. And let me be clear, work-life balance or boundaries is 100% your responsibility. 100%. You can't say, well, they not going to let me in. Well, they not going to whatever. And my boss and this and 100% your responsibility. And there's a way to go about it without ruffling a whole lot of feathers and whatever. Let me tell you one of the things I stopped doing. I just stopped taking calls when I was off work. And if people go, oh, I tried to call you. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I was spending time with my family. I figured I'd get back with you when I got to work today. That's because you was calling me after hours and I don't answer the phone after hours and none of that, right? Even in my business now, I have office hours. They are not announced, but I have office hours. When people email me outside of those office hours, I don't feel the need to email them back right away. I wait until my business reopens based on my set of office hours, and then I respond there. If that is not okay with them, because I know this is the age of I need access to you immediately, they're not going to want to work with me anyway. So also, your job is your working capital. So since we're not trying to get investors, we're not trying to get a bank loan, we have to be very diligent about how we're using our resources. This is the time to invest in learning how to run your business. This is the time to up your skill set. This is the time to get help. Take a workshop, take a class, get a business coach, get a mentor, get some materials. This is the time to do that, to invest in yourself and invest in your business, so that when you are running your business, yes, you're always going to need to continually learn about your business, but you don't have to spend all of your profits from the business on learning about the business. This is the time to do that now while you have that income coming in. Okay. And then also the last two was reallocate your energy and avoid office politics. I cannot tell you how much more productive I became when I just let it go. Here's the thing. What are the spoils of war? What am I going to gain? Okay. What am I going to gain by being super involved in office politics if my goal is to make my side hustle my main hustle? When I tell you, once that clicked in my head and I just started to let it go, and what you'll also realize is that people's issue that, oh, my boss is this, or this coworker is that, or my employee here is this, or whatever, you will realize that it has absolutely nothing to do with them. and everything to do with an unmet desire in yourself. But that is a completely separate video and a completely separate series, okay? But wanted to give you some tips on how to manage your day job while you're building your side hustle. And then you also need to put some time in your personal life to work on it. You're going to have to take time. You can't make time. Time is finite. We have 24 hours in a day. That's finite. You can't make more time. You're going to have to take time from something else to give it to your side hustle. You can make more money. You can make more money. Time, we got what we got. You're going to have to take it from somewhere else and allocate it towards your side hustle, allocate it towards your business, allocate it towards what's important to you. So, and you can apply that in any area of your life. But just know, if you're going to add this on and you want this to grow and you want this to be successful, and maybe you want it to eventually be your full-time hustle and not just your side hustle, you are going to have to change who you are, the way you function in the world, the way you make decisions, the way you spend your time, the way you spend your money to make this happen. You cannot continue to be who you are and the way you function and expect to get a different result. So I hope this was helpful. I felt like I was kind of pushing y'all a little bit, but that's only because I love you. And I'm trying to keep the videos shorter. If you didn't see the last video, it is in the playlist that this video is in. I listed about 20 questions that you should be able to answer about your business at any given time. And if you want that worksheet, I will leave the link below for you to sign up for the email list where you can get that, and you can also get the worksheet for the 100 Whys. And leave me your questions below about what specific area of your side hustle you need help with. Any questions about this part, about the work-life boundaries, about working capital, about reallocating your energy, don't play in the office politics, or anything related to that. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.